All right. So, I'm reflecting back with Joaquin Jimenez, last Pumpkin Festival. There's all this controversy going on with all this crazy shit going on out there in New York about the immigrant mayor. Well, actually, Joaquin Jimenez is the first immigrant mayor. Not that, Half Moon Bay. He's born in Mexico. His family was field workers. So I like going back in history with him. Some of my history books from my family. So we were just looking at this, recapping. So we kind of look at Half Moon Bay before it's developed. Before it was Half Moon Bay, it was Spanish Town. Before that was Miramontes. And actually, the Miramontes family is right here on my wall. So a lot of history of the Miramontes. And Jackie and her brother Don, they're still in Half Moon Bay. So, yeah, it was what? It was Miramontes, the town of Miramontes. Then from there it went to Spanish Town, and then 1874 became Half Moon Bay. So I like hearing Joaquin's perspective of what history was with him compared to like what it was with my family. So we're looking at some of my old books going way, way back. I'm talking about way, way back. You know what I mean?
Let's start with the street, Miramontes.
So we're on, right?
We're on?
Yeah.
So this property right here, when it was sold in on 3 parcels. There's an old house, a barn, not far from here, and one of the parcels. And that's where the great grandfather of the 7th generation Miramontes was born. He is the one standing, seeing the mural on Main Street, right next to Wine and Cheese. There's a mural. There's a guy like standing right next to the oil rig.
Yeah.
That's him.
Oh, you got to show. You got to point that out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
so
go down there.
He was born right here.
Right here, huh? That's the story, man.
Yeah,
The Miramontes are still here.
Yeah.
You got Jackie and then so that's.
Don, Jackie. There's some more relatives. They're like in San Jose, Santa Clara County area.
And there's a lot that were Miramontes and their last names changed to marriage or whatnot, So that's.
Don, Jackie. There's some more relatives. They're like in San Jose, Santa Clara County area.
And there's a lot that were Miramontes and their last names changed to marriage or whatnot.
Yep. Well, Jackie's last name changed to
Buckley.
Buckley, yeah.
And at one point, Jackie was living on Miramontes.
Yep. They lived on because on the other side of the highway, they changed it instead of Miramontes Street. Yeah. They changed it to Miramontes Avenue, and that was the last house they actually lived in.
It was right there.
He was in.
It was the house that she lived in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the original Miramontes Hacienda, it was where Andreotti's farm is, right close to the creek.
Yeah, on Kelly, you saying? Or which
on
one?
Kelly, yeah. Andreotti's where they have the barn, the burn. So if you go north from that, close to the creek, there's still some of the adobe, still there from the original hacienda.
Oh, look at that.
From we're talking about 1838. Yeah, now Half Moon Bay, we can't lose our history. He was born right here on this street. The house is still there. Yeah, that would have been early 1900s, I think it was.
And then what, Miramontes? What was the first that you could fall back in history when Half Moon Bay's name?
Oh, that's Juan Candelario Miramontes. That was he got the land grant from the Presidio, and he covered from Purísima Creek to Pilarcitos Creek, and that was Rancho Miramontes that later became Rancho San Benito.
Now, why the transition from it to San Benito when the Miramontes were still here all that time? Why would they let that go?
There's no information on why they called it Rancho San Benito, but it was known from the early 1840s into the early for about 10 years, like 1850s. He went from Mexican territory, and then in 48 he became U.S. territory.
So that was the switch. In 48 was the
No, it was still called, no, it was still called Rancho Benito after it became a U.S. territory.
Yeah.
But then it was called Spanish Town, and I think by 1876, that's when they called it Half Moon Bay. But people still knew it as Spanish Town.